Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit more shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin, because as you guys know, we didn't really do a whole lot of technical analysis in yesterday's video. We were talking about the cryptocurrency space and the need for compassion in this market, guys. If you haven't watched this video, please go back and watch it. I'll make sure it's linked up in the top right so you guys can see it there. Please go back and watch this video if you have not. It means a lot to me. Nevertheless, guys, in today's video, we're looking at another decision point in Bitcoin. We've been looking at a decision point for the last several days in the market, but Bitcoin has not frankly made that decision yet, and the technicals have updated since the last technical analysis video we did, so I need to give you guys an update. We're gonna be looking at some moving averages, we're gonna be looking at the shorts chart, we're gonna be looking at the MACD, RSI, some divergence down on the lower time frames, and I also want to briefly mention a newer technical indicator that someone brought to my attention in the Discord server, if and only if we have time for it. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and dive right on into it, but before we do, I do want to remind you of the sale running on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, because this is going to be running through tonight. I may extend it one more day since you guys are just all of a sudden everybody's joining the academy, and I might want to give you guys another day, but the current plan is to let this run through midnight. So if you guys do want to join CT2A, go ahead and do it now, because this coupon code and this kind of sale will not be coming back for a little while. Anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. The first thing I want to talk about is our chart pattern down here on the hourly chart. As you guys can see here, Bitcoin has moved out of the consolidation pattern that we were in, and we've moved into more of a descending triangle pattern that looks something like this. And a lot of people are getting concerned about this because, quite frankly, the last time we saw a descending triangle pattern, it didn't pan out so well because Bitcoin broke to the downside. The same thing happened over the course of 2018 when Bitcoin inevitably broke bearish below $6,000. When Bitcoin has a major rally, goes into a descending triangle pattern, oftentimes that's not showing signs of bullishness. That's not showing up as a bull flag or a bull pennant. Instead, it's showing that we made Bart Simpson down and reverse the gains that we had made, which, quite frankly, is not exactly what I want to see. I'll be honest with you guys, I want to see Bitcoin break out and go bullish here and move up to $11,000. Now, before we get into the rest of the technical analysis, I will say this. The fact that Bitcoin has been trading sideways here for the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days is a good thing for two reasons. One, and the most important reason in my opinion, is that it's locking in the gains that we made back on the 25th and 6th last weekend. Bitcoin is forcing itself to stay up here above critical technical support, having to do with the 200 daily moving average right over here. As you can see, we are above the 200 daily moving average, and we're testing support on it. Not only that, we're also above the 50, and we're above the 20. So guys, that's a really big deal. So even though Bitcoin looks like it's going into a descending triangle pattern, we are seeing some good news because Bitcoin is in a state of consolidation right now. That's the number one reason why that's a good thing. The second reason this is a good thing is because it proves that Bitcoin does not need to be trading down here around $7,000 to be stable. It shows that Bitcoin can instead trade up here around $9,000 to $10,000 and be stable, which is a very big point in favor of the bulls. Guys, we rallied 40% in the span of literally a day. It's interesting that Bitcoin rallied that far and didn't really have a correction. That can mean one of two things as well. It can mean that the correction is going to come soon, or it means that Bitcoin does genuinely deserve a $9,250 price figure, and I'm actually leaning more towards that second option. But anyway, moving on, guys, let's look at some technicals. The one thing I want to show you and bring to your attention is this out on the daily chart. Bitcoin is currently trading below the 100 DSMA right up here. That's our gray moving average, and the 200 DSMA down here. That's our green moving average. I'm pretty sure that's green. It might be orange. I'm colorblind. Either way, as you can see, Bitcoin has been bouncing around in between both of these moving averages for quite some time now, and that's not actually a bad thing. That means that Bitcoin is sitting above a very important level of support, and it also means that if Bitcoin breaks to the upside, we're going to have another, because Bitcoin is going to be getting above another critical level of resistance. Guys, during bull markets, Bitcoin is normally above the 100 daily simple moving average, which means we do still have room to move and run before we're fully back in the swing of things, and Bitcoin is confidently heading to the upside. So what seems to be happening to me, guys, is that Bitcoin is trading sideways. It's locking in those gains that we made about a week ago, and it's sitting between two important levels of support and resistance. We're sitting below this resistance, above this support. That means that Bitcoin, as I've been saying for the last several days, is in a decision point. It just hasn't made its decision quite yet. And what decision it's going to make is going to have a lot to do with the technicals and the fundamentals. The technicals right now, I think, are looking pretty good. Bitcoin is seeing a very bullish MACD. Now, it is starting to converge on itself a little bit, but you have to realize it became extremely diverged here, and now it's converging on itself a little bit. That's not a problem. This isn't really indicating bearishness. This is actually a good thing. Moving on to the shorter term time frames is where things start to get interesting as well, because as you can see, Bitcoin had our major rally over here, and Bitcoin actually had a bearish cross on the MACD because Bitcoin had rallied so far, gotten so far away from the zero level that Bitcoin needed to have a bearish cross and correct. Well, now we've done that, and Bitcoin's MACD on the 4-hourly is converging on itself and looks like it will be having a bullish cross, if not today, maybe tomorrow, which is perfect timing because, as it has been doing for the last several days, the length of time that we have before this consolidation pattern comes to a close is not very long. long. In fact, if we were to drag these out, we're probably going to see a breakout before, let's say, midnight of November 1st, which is about 36 to 48 hours from now. That lines up almost perfectly with that bullish MACD cross, which I am happy to see. Furthermore, guys, there's a very little known technical indicator that someone showed to me on the Discord server that I wanted to go ahead and bring to your attention. It doesn't have a whole lot of relevance right now, but it has in the past. I want to bring it up. If you go into your indicators tab and you type in RSI diverge, then you're going to find down here when you scroll down, RSI divergence's candlestick additions. You can bring this up and you turn it on, and interestingly enough, this thing actually gives you signals where there are pivot points, where there are bullish and bearish points. Based on calculations, it does based on RSI divergence. I've told you guys in the past, this is why there's a dedicated video on it in the Academy, that RSI divergence is incredibly important, and this indicator takes advantage of it. As you can see, we have bullish down here, we have some pivot points up here, we have some bullish signals over here, which were relatively accurate, if not in the short term, some bearish signals over here. It's a pretty interesting technical indicator, and I'm going to be watching out for what kind of signals it gives me over the next 24 hours and on into the next couple of days as Bitcoin finishes out this pattern. The very last thing I want to mention, guys, is this. Bitcoin is currently trading between two Fibonacci levels. I'm going to go ahead and turn VPVR off. As you can see, we capped out at a Fibonacci level up here, the 0.5%, and we're also trading in between these two levels. We're trading in between the 23.6 and the 38.2. If Bitcoin can break the 38.2, that's around $9,770. Well, guess what? That's not only going to be a Fibonacci level, that's also going to be our 100 daily simple moving average. If Bitcoin is able to break to the upside, then it definitely looks like a major rally is going to come, but if we fall to the downside, it definitely seems like Bitcoin might be heading back down to around $8,700 to fill the gap, or maybe even a little bit lower. So where does that leave us, guys? Where does that leave our predictions on what's going to happen here over the next couple of days? Well, I'll say this. Bitcoin is sitting above the 200 daily simple moving average, and so long as Bitcoin is doing that and has not broken it, I am bullish. I think that the best thing that we can do right now is be long and actually be prepared for us to have to go short. So what I mean by that is have long positions open, and then if Bitcoin does fall below here, then we have a stop loss. And I'm pretty confident that that's a good move for us to be making right now. Be very careful with your stop losses. Make sure they're tight. If Bitcoin does start to fall below the 200 DSMA, it's going to result in some pretty big fall off. So don't try and hold a long position if we do start falling below there. $8,700 is a level of support, but it's not necessarily permanent. It's not necessarily the strongest thing in the world. It's just where the bottom of that gap is. So right now, personally, if you were looking to make a trade, I would consider going long, although I would definitely do your own research on that and your own technical analysis before you make a trade. Don't just make a trade because I said something. Of course, I want you guys being informed on your decisions without having to result to YouTubers. That's always been the goal of this channel. Anyway, guys, I'm going to say it again here at the end of the video. I want you to go back and watch this video. Bitcoin needs more compassion. Please go and watch that video if you haven't already. That means a whole lot to me. I'd like to start spreading a movement of compassion and caring and charity in the cryptocurrency space. If we can do that, I really think that that would help Bitcoin, it would help us, and most importantly, of course, it would help those that are in need. So please go and watch that video if you haven't already, and go ahead and act on what I talked about in it. But anyway, guys, before we wrap up, I do want to mention one more thing, and that is the sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. As I told you guys, we are going to be running this sale through midnight tonight on the spookiest of spooky days. Guys, if you do want me to extend the sale, tell me in the comment section down below, and I can. You guys seem to be really enjoying CT2A right now. We've had dozens of you join in the last couple of days. I think there's been like 40 of you joined this week. And the reason for that, guys, is because we have a quality product that delivers results, and we have nearly 1,000 students who can testify to that. If you guys haven't already, join the Discord server down below and go ask people in the Discord server what they think of the Academy. I know I say that a lot, and the reason I do is because I'm not trying to sell you snake oil here, guys. This does work. The Academy has been put together over the last year. I put hundreds of hours into producing the Academy, and I put thousands of hours into learning everything that goes into this Academy. It's going to help you in your trading. That's why I implore you guys to go and talk to our students so that they can tell you themselves. CT2A is comprised of 34 videos that span over 10 hours of content. There's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee. When you buy the course, you get access to all current and all future content, and you will learn everything that you need to know to get started trading in cryptocurrency markets and hit the ground running, so you're not wasting thousands of dollars trying to learn to trade the old-fashioned way. Because, guys, if you do it the way I did it, which is spending 2 years trying to learn the markets with absolutely no help, just Googling stuff and then trading with real money and then losing money and not knowing what you're doing, you're going to lose a lot of money, and more importantly, you're going to waste a lot of time. I see it as a no-brainer, guys. With the coupon code down below, CT2A runs for $159, when honestly, guys, I could easily sell this course for $500 or $1,000 with all the content that's in here. For $159, you're going to learn everything you need to know to start trading in a market where you can make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars if you put in the time. I'm not guaranteeing you anything without hard work, but I will say this, guys, there are a lot of success stories and they're in the Discord server, so go and talk to them if you are interested. Like I said, the link and the coupon code are in the description down below. That sale is wrapping up today, so if you are interested, go ahead and join us. And if you don't like it, like I said, there is a 14-day money-back refund guarantee. No questions asked. Anyway, guys, I am going to go and get a late breakfast because I am very hungry. It's been a long day. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. I really do appreciate when you guys do that. And like I said, if you don't hit the like button, I might just have to delete your BitConnect account. And you wouldn't want me to do that, would you? Anyway, guys, jokes aside, that is actually going to do it for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching. As always, roll that outro, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.